So I wanted to talk to you guys about how to imagine a better version of you, meaning yourself. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, what I practiced, and everything that I did last year on healing my own body. Now there's so much that I did, but I cannot tell you guys everything because I don't have that time to tell you in a video because it would take me forever to post. And I'll be putting it in my podcast on how to imagine a healthier version of you and how to unbecome the familiar self, because it really has to do with what I learned from so many teachings, Dr. Joe Dispenza, so many things. And there's times where I post and I post and I post and I'm like, they're not going to understand any of it. And they're going to be like, what is she talking about? But I do it little by little and I post so randomly so you guys can kind of put the puzzle pieces together to understand more about yourself and become aware of yourself. And the biggest thing that I did was unlearn and relearn, because unlearning the familiar self is how you actually imagine a better version of yourself, a healthier version of yourself. And it's how you heal yourself, because when you are thinking and feeling the familiar self, meaning the familiar past, you don't even know how to imagine a better version of you because you're only feeling from the past and thinking of the past. And you're reminded constantly of everything from the past, how you felt in the past, thinking in the past, how you acted in the past. And you won't attract what you need to heal yourself from within. You won't attract everything, the information and the knowledge and the wisdom that you need to change your own life. And that's why I created Mind Beauty, because Mind Beauty is a way that I can spread this awareness and everything that I did to change my own life if you guys wanted to change your own life. So this is what I did to imagine a healthier version of me, because I've posted about it before. I had a herniated L5S1. I had restless leg syndrome since I was little. I had current nightmares since I was a little girl that kept me up all night. I had nerve damage in my entire arm to wrist, to my hand and fingers. I would drop the spray gun nonstop, more and more every year. I was losing the feelings in my arm, my wrist, and my hand, and it was terrible. I had pain in my left leg for a little over 3 years, and I never understood why. I went in and got 2 to 3 DVT tests done, and they always came back negative. Nothing was wrong. The doctor just kept telling me that I was standing on it too much and that my profession, but I mean, my left leg, the lower part of my left leg was swollen. And it was, I could feel the liquid down there. It was just so heavy, and it was weighted down, and it was so painful all the time. I would have to continue to, I'd have to sit down. It was so painful. At night it hurt. With the restless leg syndrome, it was really bad. It was just, constant stuff. I would get really sick easily. I got bronchitis a lot, sinus infections. I had food allergies when I was younger, so many food allergies. I'm not even going to begin to tell you how many food allergies I had. I'll never forget getting the pricks in my back when I was, I think, 8 or 9 years old, and it was so many food allergies. So I had to stay away from so much food. And citric acid was one of them, and that's like in every soda out there. It really is. So I didn't drink soda, which is probably good for me, by the way. But I had so many things. I was sick growing up all the time. My mom was sick growing up. I witnessed my mom being sick growing up. It's all I remember is sickness. I just remember not feeling good all the time and getting sick, and it was terrible. But I'm going to tell you something. Over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, I changed my entire life by imagining a healthier version of myself. I worked really, 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 really hard at it. And I'm going to tell you, it really starts with thought. Everything starts with a thought. Everything starts with a thought. The minute you realize that you can actually, rewire new thought patterns and feeling patterns just from that thought, and becoming a witness to it, observing it, and, putting awareness to it, you are going to change your entire life. But it's being consistent and practicing it on a daily basis. When I talk to people, and they always ask me, well, how do I do this? How do I do that? And it's so hard to explain at times, because what I say to them, they don't understand, and they don't understand why they don't even understand it. Well, when you are on a different level of consciousness, I was. But now I'm on a higher level of consciousness. I absorb and I comprehend so much more. It's like I know. It's like this. I just know it. And then I just take it in. Reading books, I just know it. It's just like I take it all in, and it's so different now with this level of consciousness. I'm just more aware of myself, and I'm aware of everything about my life. But when you are on a different level of consciousness, and you are only thinking and feeling the familiar self, and that's all you know is the familiar self, and you identify yourself by yourself all the time, meaning you identify yourself as a mother, as what you do for a living. You identify yourself from the familiar self all the time. So you are going to be reminded of that on a daily basis from the past version of you. And it doesn't matter what it is. Anything, how you're thinking and your thoughts are just a program from your past. And when you think of something, it's attached to a negative feeling, which is, it's an emotion. Thought with feeling is an emotion from a past experience, the familiar self from the past. And it's always going to take you back to the past, because your body is the mind right now. Your body is the mind, and these are not connected. The mind and the body is not connected. And when you become aware that you can actually tell your body what to do, and you have to remind your body that you are in control of it, and you have to work at it over and over and over and over, you can do it on your own, and you can do it just with practice. But I'm going to tell you something. When you are living in survival mode, okay? Survival mode is living in fear, worrying, just taking on your surroundings as, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? I can't handle this. You get anxiety, and it's just, that is living in survival mode. It's just a hamster on a wheel. Like, you're expecting something to happen from the familiar past, from the familiar emotions of the past, from your past experiences. You're expecting something to happen bad, by the way, because you're worrying about it and you're fearing it, and then your body's getting ready for that, and then you start getting anxiety and anxious, and you are putting that energy out there of fear, of worry, of being afraid. You're putting all that out there, and you're attracting those experiences with what you're expecting, because you're thinking and feeling the familiar emotions of the past. All you're thinking is familiar. That's it. Anything that's familiar to you is what you're attracting into your physical reality and your physical life. So this is what you want to do, because some of you will be like, I don't understand. And that is totally okay. Because when I first started reading all of this, the teachings and the knowledge, and taking all this in, it was so confusing at first. I was like, what? How do I even do this? And I just kept practicing it. I had a lot of time to practice it. I sat in, I was very uncomfortable. I sat in my uncomfortableness all the time, and it was just like, I hated it. I didn't like it. But I kept pushing through it. I kept pushing through being uncomfortable. I would do something that was making me uncomfortable, and I'd have certain thoughts that were making me feel uncomfortable. And I didn't judge them. I didn't, what else did I do? I didn't push them away. I just sat in it. You just have to sit in it. You have to accept it for what it is. You have to accept your past for what it is. We all look back at our past like it's just so horrible. Really, we all look back at our past. We're wishing that this didn't happen, or this person didn't do this, or this person didn't say this, or this certain situation didn't happen. I mean, these are really just lessons that we go through because we're creating it for ourselves by our own vibration and our own energy in our body. We just don't realize that we're holding on to all those experiences. We're holding on to the thought patterns, the feeling patterns. We're holding on to all of it. And this all has to do with getting sick. So if you have a physical condition right now, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. When you continue to talk and speak of your sickness, your illness, your disease, your chronic pains, if you talk as if you are unhealthy, you are retelling that story over and over again, and you're sending that to your body. That's what you're doing. You're retelling this over and over again, and you are recreating your own physical illnesses for you. And somebody would be like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like, well, you know what? When you're living in survival mode, you don't believe in any possibilities. You don't even believe in yourself, because you can't believe in yourself, because you're expecting the worst outcomes. You're expecting so much crap to happen in your lives. Well, if you expect something to happen, that's all you're going to experience for yourself, because you're just feeling the familiar emotions of the past, which is just past experiences. It's like that's the reality that you are living in. You are living in the past reality. You're not living in the present reality, because you would feel no pain in the present reality. You would feel nothing bad in the present reality. You are just identifying yourself from these physical conditions, from all your pain and how you feel from your past all the time. You're talking to people like you're sick. You're thinking like you're sick, and then you're feeling like you're sick. And then you're recreating for that self from your thoughts and your feelings, and you're manifesting that and recreating it every single day. Now, I can say that over again if you want me to, but I would hope that you kind of understood what I just said. You are recreating your physical conditions by thinking about it, feeling about it, and manifesting it into your existence. Meaning your thought is telling your body, it's going to your body, and you're recreating that in your body every single day. So this is what I did. I had to, it was so hard, because I never really thought of it that way, because I always thought of myself as having chronic pains and feeling like shit and always being treated badly and worrying about money and all this type of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, well, wait a minute. So now that I'm aware of how I'm thinking and how I'm feeling and how I'm recreating this crap for myself every single day, maybe I can turn it around. I can change it, because if I'm creating this in my body, if I'm creating this for myself, for me and in my life, in my body, then I can recreate different. So how we do this is, and Dr. Joe Dispenza says it all the time, you have to forget about your familiar self. You have to stop identifying yourself. And when I talk about the present moment is the unknown, the unfamiliar self. You have to really let go of the familiar self. You have to forget who you are. And that sounds terrible. You're like, oh, I don't want to forget who I am. I love who I am. Well, you don't really love who you are, because you don't have any love for you. You are constantly thinking the familiar self from the past reality. You've been living in your past reality, which means you're just recreating everything from your past, whether it was yesterday, the day before that, months ago, weeks ago, months ago, or years ago. You're just recreating it for yourself over and over again. And I'm going to check the time right now. I don't want to go over, because I have to put this one in my Instagram. So many people want to see my videos on Instagram, and I always go over. So that's all you're doing. You're recreating everything in your body every single day from thinking and feeling the familiar self. That's all you're doing. You're living in your past reality. You're not living in the present reality. And you're not really thinking that this is all possible, because you're living in survival mode 24/7. You're worried. You're so worried about the predictable future that you're predicting your future with all those worries from the familiar emotions of the past. That's all you're doing. You can change all of this for you just like that. Will it take practice? Absolutely. You have to be consistent, and you have to keep going over and over and over again. This is what you're going to do. Before I end this video, I'm going to tell you, you have to get those thoughts going. You have to be aware of what you're thinking. And the moment you are thinking negative, you have to just let it flow through you. It's going to be attached to a negative emotion. It's going to rise up. You're going to have to really just let it flow through you. You're going to have to feel what you need to feel to let it go. But what you also need to do is be aware of how you're thinking on a daily basis and rewire new thought patterns. Now, when you rewire new thought patterns, okay, because a thought becomes before a feeling, when you rewire positive thought patterns, it will give you a good feeling, because you're saying good, positive, you're doing good, positive self-talk, which is good, and it feels really good. And then that is going to be attached to a good feeling, which is gratitude, okay? A good, abundant feeling. If you have a hard time feeling abundant, just look around you. It's amazing. You are living in this beautiful place. That is enough to feel abundant for. You are so abundant in so many ways. You just forget that abundant feeling because you're living in the past version of you. Those past thoughts and past feelings are just, they're chained to you. You don't even realize you're chained to the past. But you just need to imagine a healthier and better version of you. I'm not saying, try to forget who you are. Well, I am actually. You're just trying to live in the present moment, which is the unknown. And you are nobody. You are no one in no place and no time. You're nothing in the present moment because you can be whoever you want in the present moment. The unknown and the unfamiliar is where you can be anything you want to be. Anything. You just have to let go of that version of you. You have to just let go of that version. That version of you don't like that version, even though you do. You're not that version anymore. You want to become a healthier version of you, a better version of you, more wealthier version of you. You want to, whatever version you want to be, you have to imagine that version of you. So this is what I want you to do, because the thought comes before the feeling. You have to be aware of how you're thinking on a daily basis. Every single day you wake up. When you have a negative thought, don't react to it. Don't react to it. Don't entertain anything that does not make you feel good. You don't have to. Thoughts are not you. Remember that. And then those negative thoughts will always have a negative feeling attached because it's an emotion, it's an experience from your past. You have so many inner emotions, familiar emotions that you have not quite attended to your whole life. So that's a lot of that's going to pop up. So when that emotion pops up, feel it and let it flow you through like a river. Then what I want you to do is, because you are aware of your own thoughts, I want you to start speaking healthier, okay? Speak healthier, healthier self-talk. Think healthier. Start rewiring new thought patterns. You can't really just say, I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy, It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. You have to start thinking as if you are already healthy. You have to imagine yourself as already healthy. You have to feel as if you are already healed. It has already happened. You have to feel grateful as if you are already without any pains, any chronic pains, any diseases, any illnesses, anything that you've ever suffered from. You have to think as if and feel as if you are not that version anymore. So you have to imagine that healthier version of you every single day until everything happens for you, because you just have to believe that you are already healed, that you have already healed yourself. And I want you to remind yourself, because if we constantly rely on our surroundings, we will become them. I'm not joking. We are a product of our environment. We always have been. You just weren't aware that the environment, the external environment was, what is it called? Signaling your genes. Not many people know that. They don't realize that the environment, my hair is so messed up today. Ignore it. The environment is what signals the genes. You are a product of your environment and you don't even realize it. When you realize that you can change this and not be affected by your surroundings and your environment, and you call the shots and you control your body and you can think whatever you want and feel however you want and tell your body to do whatever you want, you're going to be just like mind blown, because all it takes is one thought, rewiring one new thought pattern. Now, because I don't know what type of illnesses, diseases, chronic pains, or anything that you are suffering from, this is up to you. You have to come up with your own good self-talk, intention, mantras, affirmations, because I don't know what you have, but I will tell you what I did. I imagined, now because I was really, really in pain, used to be in pain, I'm no longer in pain. I was really used to be in pain for my herniated L5-S1, my sciatica, that nerve. Oh, so horrible at times, but I learned so much from that pain, by the way, because pain comes before change. When you're ready for change, you're going to feel all that pain, but you are just focusing on the pain and you're not really focusing on why it's coming, what the messengers, what it's trying to tell you, and how you're supposed to learn from it to heal it and let it go. So what you need to do is, whatever you have going on in your body, whatever you have going on emotionally, physically, or mentally, just know that you can control it. You can always control it. You are just thinking and feeling the familiar self. That's it. You are in the past reality. You're thinking and you're feeling, which means you're living in the past reality, which is your familiar self. To get in the present, into the unknown and the unfamiliar self, you have to get past the familiar self. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this down, guys. It's super loud, and this might not post if it's that loud. So you're just letting go forgetting the familiar self. You're forgetting. You're not identifying yourself anymore. You're not a mom. You're not a dad. You're not a person. I mean, no, you have to let go. You don't work at a, I mean, you have to let go completely to heal your entire body in this present moment. That is the only way that you can actually heal your entire body, is by living in the present moment and forgetting the familiar self. You have to stop talking as that way. You have to stop thinking from the past. You have to stop feeling in the past. You have to act as if you are not that person anymore. Your personality is everything. It creates everything for you. It creates your entire life. If you just woke up one day and you just thought to yourself, I am so healthy, and you imagine yourself healthier, and you imagine yourself without any condition that you have, anything going on, any of the pain, any of the suffering, any of the health conditions that you have in your body. If you just imagine yourself without any of those, but felt as if it had already happened, you were already healed, you had already healed yourself, and you did everything you needed to do to heal your own body, and felt as if it already happened, and you were so grateful for it, so grateful. You have to feel that gratitude. You have to feel abundant as if it has already happened. And then you have to continue to do that every single day. I'm telling you, this is something you're going to continue to do. This isn't something you're going to take a day, a week, a month. This is going to take a year and over, because you're going to have to work on it every single day. But because you've been so reliant on your surroundings and external environment, you have been numbing everything. You've been numbing your familiar self with all this entertainment around you. Whatever you can put in your hands, whatever you can look at, whatever you can watch, whatever you can eat, whatever you can do outside of you to numb and ignore your emotions, which your emotions, inner emotions, is how you manifest illnesses, diseases, and chronic pains and everything in your body. And because you've held on to those so long, you are living in that. You're living in your past reality. So it's time to get out of your past reality. And it's so simple. Rewire new thought patterns every single day. Every single day. You have to think as if you are already healthy. You have to speak as if you're already healthy. It's done. You've healed yourself. Nothing. But you still cannot ignore your emotions. And it's going to happen. You have so many thoughts that are connected to your past. You have so many feelings that are connected to your past. And that's just, those experiences are running like a hamster on a wheel, okay? And the minute you become aware and you observe yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, you get off that hamster wheel. And the minute you become the observer and the witness and awareness, you are living in the present moment, because then you are now aware that you are no longer in the past reality. You are in the present moment. And then when you visualize a healthier version of you all the time, but you have to feel as if that healthier version of you is right now in this present moment. And you have to feel grateful as if it's already happened. It is so easy, because all you're doing is tricking. You're tricking. That's all you're doing. You're tricking the body into believing you are already healthy by visualizing a healthier version of you. And when you put feeling with that emotion, that abundance, that grateful feeling, that is making it real as if it's already happened. So you are just tricking your body into believing you are already healthy. And then you are going to be able to heal yourself and your body is so amazing. And you've taken it for granted, and you have to accept that. I'm sorry, I had to accept it too. I had to accept that I was taking my body for granted for years. My whole life I took it for granted. I let my environment become me 24/7. I did. Everything that was happening in my environment, I became, however it made me feel. It just reminded me of how I felt inside for myself. And then I attracted everything I needed to make me feel the way I was already feeling from my past reality all the freaking time. And it was a cycle over and over and over again. Recreated the health conditions, recreated sicknesses and illnesses, recreated sinus infections, and recreated allergies, and recreated my herniated L5S1. I recreated my restless leg syndrome. I recreated my nightmares over and over and over again. I recreated my pain in my leg. I recreated my nerve damage in my arm, my wrist. I recreated that because I could not think greater than I couldn't think or feel greater than my environment. I could not think greater than how I was feeling. I could not feel greater than my surroundings and my environment. You are literally just getting past the familiar self. That's all you're doing. You are just getting past the familiar self. That's it. That's all we're doing here. That's all you're needing to do and wanting to do. If you're suffering so bad to where you can't get up in the morning, you can barely move, you have to do, you need pills and you need just all that to numb your pain and get you back to the past version of you. That's really what's happening. When you start this is what's going to happen, because what you guys are going to notice is when you start thinking differently and you start feeling better about yourself, you have all these thought patterns that are connected to negative feelings, which is emotions, past familiar emotions. It's connected to your past, okay? And everything is memorized from your past that you're connected to. So when you start feeling better, if you start thinking different, more positive self-talk, and you're imagining this, and then, you're feeling better, your body is like, no, wait, no, you don't normally feel like this. You don't normally feel like this. No, I'm going to send you thoughts that's going to take you back to the familiar self. I'm going to send you thoughts from your past that are going to take you back to the familiar feelings. And then you're going to become that person again, because that's you. That's how you used to think, that's how you used to feel. And I'm going to take you back to those past experiences, because I'm just going to take you to the past reality, because that's where you've always been. That is exactly what's happening. Your mind is the body right now. It's running the show. And because of all those past experiences and how you've talked your whole life and how you've thought and how you felt and everything you went through in your life and all those memories, all the trauma, all that survival mode and all the fear and being afraid and everything, that is something that is just a memory. And it's everything that your addictions, everything you've done on a daily basis, that's a memory, okay? And when you start to change, when you really start to change, and I'm going to tell you something because it happened to me all last year, everything is going to remind you of your past. People are going to come in, everything. Your body is so used to running the show and feeling the familiar emotions of the past. It is going to send you thoughts all the time to get you back to the past version of you, the familiar self. And it's going to take you back to those same experiences and everything you need to do to live in that past reality. But when you become aware of this, you're going to get so upset this is going to happen over and over and over again. But when you become aware and you're a witness and you're the observer of this, you call the shots. You start telling your body, no, this isn't the way I feel. I feel differently. I feel grateful for my life. You have to tell your body what to do. You have to tell your body how to heal. You have to tell your body, I'm not going to react to that person. I'm not angry. I'm not actually really angry. That's just a memory from my past. I'm not actually angry. My emotions aren't me. I am a witness. I am the observer of how I feel and how I think. And I am observing and aware of everything. And that's not how I want to feel anymore. That's not how I want to think anymore. And I'm not unhealthy. I'm very healthy. I'm extremely healthy. You are calling the shots. You are becoming your own master, and you are going to change your own life. So I'm going to end that there. I went over again. It's okay. I might have to just cut it in two and then post it, but you guys have to understand you are your own creators, and you have been recreating from your past for a very long time. And what's most important in all of this is you're recreating all of your health conditions. And when more come, it's because you're living in survival mode and your environment is signaling those genes. And we have all the capabilities and power to change our entire lives just with one thought. That's it. You are one thought away. It all starts with thought. The first thought that arises, once you become aware of how you're thinking and how you're feeling, you can change your entire game like that. I did it. You can do it. Other people have been doing it for centuries, by the way. You just only know what you've read and learned in school and they were taught. This is all you're doing. You're unlearning and relearning, and then you recreate everything for yourself by living in the present moment and living in the unknown and just forgetting the familiar self. That's all you're doing, because the only way you can create a life of your dreams that you desire and that you deserve is living in the present moment, feeling grateful for everything that you have right now, putting out the abundance feeling all the time, feeling grateful, living in a state of gratitude, and attracting everything to make you feel like you already are, which is abundant, because you are so abundant. You just have to remember that that past version of you is a past reality. It's no more. It's gone. It doesn't exist. But you being chained to your past, being chained to the thoughts from the past and the feelings from the past and acting in your past and all the experiences from your past, you're just running on a cycle. You're a hamster on a wheel. Become aware of that wheel. Become aware of that hamster and become aware of how you're thinking and how you're feeling, and tell your body what to do. You guys have an amazing day. Enjoy. Practice gratitude. Check your thoughts, check your feelings, check how you're acting, your mood, and just be like, how do I want to think? How do I want to feel? Do these words make me feel good? If these words aren't making me feel good, I shouldn't say them. So don't say them. If you're not feeling good about yourself and your life, you recreate something different. New thoughts, new thought patterns, new feeling patterns. More positive self-talk. Talk better to people. Be more kind, be more respectful, and understand that everything outside of you is how you feel for yourself. And it's like a mirror. And when you think of it that way, your whole life will change. Bye, guys.